You really are sick. You are.
Well, I suppose I must be, or something of that nature. Oh, now this lets in a little light now, doesn't it, Elaine?
Good morning, Master Builder.
Did you sleep well?
Yes, it was wonderful, as if I were being rocked in a cradle. I just lay there and I stretched out like a princess.
Very appropriate. And did you dream a little bit too, maybe?
Yes, but that was awful.
Oh?
I dreamt that I was falling down an enormously high, steep cliff. Do you ever have that dream?
Yes, sometimes I do.
It's horrible, but it's also this exciting feeling, the way you sort of just drift down farther and farther.
There's this sort of icy sensation, cold, freezing.
Yes, do you sometimes pull your legs up under you as you fall?
Oh, right up to my chest.
Yes, yes!
Oliver, I guess I better go into town now.
I'll see if I can find you a few clothes and some other things you're obviously gonna need. Oh, dear, lovely Mrs. Solness, that's so incredibly kind of you. You're being so kind to me.
Minimal obligation to a guest. I'm not kind at all.
Oh, I mean, I can perfectly well go to town myself and get what I need.
To be absolutely frank, I think you might possibly attract attention there somehow.
Attention. Really? Well, attention. Really? Well, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
But then people there might start to think that you too were crazy.
Crazy? Why? Are there an enormous number of crazy people here in your town?
Well, there's Stop it! Stop it! Do you mean that you haven't noticed it yet?
No, absolutely not. I mean, no, maybe, maybe in one particular way.
Whoa, did you hear that, Aline?
Yeah, well, what is that
No,
one particular way, Miss
I'm not
Fonda?
gonna
Tell
say.
us.
Come on, tell us.
No, I do think I'm crazy.
I'm sure when you two are alone, she'll tell you, Halford.
Really? Do you think so?
Yes, I do. Because you knew her so well at one time when she was a child. I believe you.
So. Is your wife just incapable of liking me at all?
I'm sorry.
I mean,
In these last few years, Aline has become very reclusive, ill at ease around people.
yes.
I mean, if only you could get to know her a little. She's actually a kind, good, wonderful person.
She's so kind. Why did she talk that way about obligation?
Obligation?
Yes. She said she would go buy me some things out of obligation. Christ, I hate that word. So revolting. It's so ugly.
Obligation?
I mean, if she really is so kind, as you say she is, why would she use a word like that?
Well, but what sort of words do you think that she should have used?
Well, she might have said that she wanted to go buy me some things because she liked me very much and she wanted to do it. That's what she could have said. Something warm from her heart.
That's what you hoped that Aline would say.
Are you the one who's done all these drawings?
No. They were done by a young man whom I have here assisting me.
Oh. Someone you've trained?
Yes.
An advanced practitioner?
Do you think you can tell that from looking at those drawings?
No. It just meant that if he studied with you, he must be very advanced.
Ugh. Believe me, there are a lot of people around here who studied with me, and they haven't become very advanced at all.
Why do you take on all these students? I don't understand.
Well,
I think it's absurd. You shouldn't teach students the things that you know. You're the only one who should be allowed to build. You should get all the jobs yourself.
Hilda!
What?
Hilda, that is outrageous!
Wait, is that the new house?
What? Over by the stone quarry? Yes!
It's so big!
Yes!
So, does that one have children's rooms also?
Yes?
Children's rooms, but no children.
Yes.
Well, then wasn't I possibly just a little bit right?
What do you mean?
You mean that you really are just a little bit crazy.
Was that what you meant when you said that?
Yes. I was thinking of all these empty children's rooms.
Well, Hilda, you see, Aline and I did have children. 2 little boys, twins. This was quite some time ago.
And they're both...
Well, we only had them for a little bit less than 3 weeks, and then they died. Oh, Hilda, it's so good for me that you came to me. It's such a wonderful feeling to have someone to talk with.
You mean you can't talk with her?
Well, not in the way I want to talk and need to talk. I mean, we simply can't talk about this, or about most things, really.
Was that what you meant yesterday when you said that you needed me? Was that the only thing? Or...
See, over there on the high ground, where you can see the new house, well, that was where Aline and I lived when we were first married. Because at that time, there was an old house there that had belonged to her mother, and that house had been given to us, along with this whole enormous garden around it.
Did that house also have a tower?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. On the contrary, from the outside, that house was actually just a huge, dark, depressing, ugly box. But inside, though, it was actually very comfortable and cozy, and that was where we lived when the 2 little boys were born. And see, when they first came into the world, they were so healthy and strong. They were growing every day. You could actually see it.
Yes, they grow so fast in the first few days.
And the sight of Aline lying in bed with the 2 little babies, that was the most beautiful sight that you could ever see in your life. But then one night we had a fire.
A fire? What happened?
Well, that was a terrible night. Alarms, chaos, everybody scrambling and pushing outside at night in the freezing cold. Aline and the boys carried out in their beds. Well, Aline went into a state of sheer terror.